Hi guys, it's Sam with Spieler Custom Baits, and today we're going to be tying in one of our black and blue football jigs. We're going to start out with a 3/8 ounce jig head with a number 3 arbitine hook and weed guard. This particular jig is a cast in, meaning that the weed guard is casted in with the actual jig. So to get around this for tying, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this safety pin to pull that weed guard back and loop the end of the safety pin before clipping it through the eye of the jig. This just helps keep it out of the way while we're using our tie-ins. And we're going to be using a 120D thread, and we're just going to go down on that first area of the jig and get a good tie-in. And clip off that tag end. This particular jig I want pretty full, so we're going to use multiple tabs of silicone. This one's only going to be made with silicone. Starting off with some jet black, and we're going to loosely tie that in, rearrange it to where we want it on that jig, and then tie it in. Then we're going to take our second, and we're going to repeat that process just to create a fuller look on that top side of the jig. Loose wrap, rearranging to where we want it, and then tying it in. And we're going to go with our third black silicone tab, and we're going to tie this on the underside of the jig. Starting with some loose tie-ins, arrange it to where we want it, and then locking that in. And with this jig, we only want a little bit of blue accent in it. So I have a blue banded skirt, and I'm just going to evenly lay that across and loosely tie that in. Just kind of rearranging that to where we want it in the skirt of the jig. And then cranking that down. And then to finish, we're going to go ahead and whip finish. I started off with a whip finish with the whip finish tool, but I had this happen where I was catching my weed guard, so I went ahead and finished it with a hand tie-in, doing a whip finish with just my fingers. Just clipping in the skirt, making sure that it doesn't move. Trying to get another whip finish in. and ultimately just finishing it off screen with my fingers. After we have that tied in, just kind of rearranging stuff a little bit, getting the skirts tightened in there. And then we're gonna snip our thread. I finish all of my bass jigs with a wire finish. I find that it just keeps it a little bit more durable. Don't have to worry about as much slippage. So I get a few good wraps with some copper wire. And then I twist it until I get the desired tension. And then I clip it about 3 wraps, or 3 twists above the base, and I push that in. I'm going to be pulling out on this skirt. After unclipping it, we can take off the safety pin hold. And we're ready to trim our skirt. So we're going to grab all of our tabs so that we can get a good cut on this. I'm going to rearrange this so I can get a good grip and a good angle on the front of the skirt. Put that right back in the vise. We're going to pull up on the top end of the skirt. Get it to where we want it, and go ahead and clip the top of that as well. And as you can see, we have our finished product. A nice black and blue football jig. Just rearranging some of that skirt. And there we have it. Thank you guys for watching.